Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to RevivedWitch. So apologies for, not uploading for a bit. I did become busy in the past few days, but now I'm able to make a video for you guys. Now the reason for this video is because, not really a big update, but our Dream Maelstrom, the battle pass, has updated, it refreshed, and we do get a new UR alongside it. Just to keep in mind, these obviously for all URs that appear for the first time in the battle pass, the Dream Maelstrom, they are instantly added into the standard pool, the premium pool, and so you'll be able to pull them off banner anyway. So don't be pressured into buying it if you can't afford or you don't want to. In any case, as per usual, let's take a look at Curtana, who is a Saltstone Destroyer. So as per usual, when we do these review videos, keep in mind that their skills are maxed out at level 5 active skill and level 2 passive skill. In any case, if you take a look at her stats here, it's pretty decent for a destroyer, but of course, if I'm not mistaken, the Brimstone Assassins, their attack stat I think is normally higher, but this is still relatively high for a Saltstone Destroyer. In any case, her first skill is called the Shadow Slash, and it attacks all enemies twice, each dealing physical damage equal to 250% of her own attack, so 500% in total, which is pretty strong for simple AOE. The only issue is that it's pure damage. Now, her second skill is called Field of Swords. It costs 4 chaos to use. If I didn't mention it, it costs 3 order to use. In any case, Field of Swords, 4 chaos. It attacks all enemies 3 times, each time dealing physical damage equal to 100% of her own attack, so that's 300% total. And then while inflicting them with 1 stack of Soul Crush. And then, after a short delay, burst the sword energy, dealing additional physical damage equal to 300% of her own attack to all enemy targets. So, what this means is that it first attacks all enemies 3 times, so that's 300%, and then at the same time adding 1 stack of this Soul Crush, and then just a few seconds or maybe 1 second later, it will deal extra damage on top of the 300% with another 300% of her own attack to all enemy targets, totaling a 600% multiplier to all enemies on her second skill, which is pretty strong for AOE especially. And Soul Crush, it decreases the inflicted target's physical defense by 10% for 10 seconds, which stacks up to 3 times. So, normally speaking, when it comes to these types of lowering of physical defense, this would be more applicable to more difficult enemies who have much higher physical defense, where it becomes more valuable to have this specific type of lowering of physical defense compared to lowering physical defense or ignoring physical defense based off the character's attack or physical defense or magical defense. So this would be more effective if the enemy has reached the threshold where percent physical defense reduction becomes more effective, but for the most part, I think at the moment this will not be, not really too significant, but it is something there to help her with damage. And then last but not least, her passive, Sword Mastery at level 2. When landing on a target, a normal attack has a 50% chance of unleashing the skill Shadow Slash. So what this means is that when landing on a target, I'm assuming it means you can't miss. And so when the normal attack hits, so this is not skills, this is like the extra attack that they do whilst you're fighting, which you can't control. That's a normal attack. That has a 50% chance of unleashing her first skill, Shadow Slash. So in a sense, there's a chance that you'll basically get 3 chaos energy for free when she's using normal attacks. So if you have pretty good RNG, you'll be able to get lots of chaos energy for free, which is pretty nice, that potential right there. So overall, her kit seems pretty pretty straightforward. I'd say she is focused on AOE damage. and her multipliers are pretty solid for someone that is focused on AOE and not single target, and so she can be good for content that has a lot of AOE requirements, but for the meantime probably just PvP and maybe certain stages in Path Not Taken, but you know, Isabel could still do those anyway. Alright, so not only do we get a new character alongside the battle pass, we do also get her unique equipment on top of that. So they made it so that they also release they also release the unique equipment on top of the battle pass. And so let's take a look at her unique equipment, which is called Divine Judgment, and see if this buffs Curtana in a good way. So let's see the passive. The last burst of sword energy released by Field of Swords deals 33% additional damage. So I'm gonna just take a guess, and at max level the increased additional damage is gonna range between 40% to 45%, you know, somewhere along those lines. So let me tell you guys what they're talking about specifically. So if you go to the Dream Maelstrom and take a look at her, the damage that is boosted by the unique equipment is this part specifically. The after a short delay burst the sword energy, dealing additional physical damage equal to 300% of her own attack to all enemy targets. This is what's boosted. So if we assume the level 1, the unupgraded passive of the unique equipment, you increase this by 33%, which would be 399% physical damage. That's the multiplier. It becomes 399%, and then assuming it, let's say it goes up to 50% at max level, then that means the total multiplier would become 450% of her own attack. But since it's increased the damage dealt, I'm not sure if it's an increase to the multiplier or if it's an increase to the damage that you're dealing mid-action. So it could either be a huge multiplier or a usual multiplier. But yeah, you know, I didn't really expect something to be very straightforward, and so I wouldn't say it's an improvement to her kit, but just a simple improvement to her damage, mainly to her extra attack on her second skill. So overall, I would say Curtana would be, you know, I'd say pretty decent as a character. I wouldn't say you would need her, but her design is very nice. And so I might get this battle pass on my non-free-to-play account since I still have crystals remaining, unless they return that event where if you put crystals in, you essentially get more back. So I might wait for that instead. But yeah, overall she's alright. Her design's nice. If you're going for the design, she's, I would say, worth it. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for this video. So if you got any more questions in regards to Curtana and her unique equipment, do let me know down in the comments below. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.